If you're over 50 and you've been waiting for the labor market to improve so your job prospects will improve, well, let me make something perfectly clear. You'll be waiting for a long time. In this video, I'm going to explain why learning a new high-income skill is more important than ever, especially if you're over 50. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, yesterday, the Department of Labor, they issued their weekly job report, and they said that applications for state unemployment insurance, those numbers jumped to a 4-week high, and I think a lot of people were surprised by those numbers. Bloomberg.com, they said that the labor market has gotten a lot tougher because what they're saying is claims have failed to show any sustained decline for the past 5 months. In this video, I'm going to explain why learning a new high-income skill is more important than ever, especially if you're over 50. So let me start with President Biden's American Rescue Plan. It's certain to put a few dollars in the empty, or I'll say half-empty pockets of many Americans, but it's a temporary fix. His plan, like Donald Trump's CARES Act and the $900 billion relief bill that Trump and Mitch McConnell orchestrated in late December 2020, does nothing to strengthen the long-term job prospects for millions of Americans. Biden's economic rescue plan, like every economic stimulus before it, and I'm going back to the Great Recession, it ignores the plight of millions of older workers who have for years suffered long-term unemployment and underemployment because of their age. Yes, disappointingly, the American Rescue Plan is just another short-term fix. It has no plan to replace 42% of jobs that have been permanently lost during the pandemic. The American Rescue Plan, it has no plan to help the 5.3 million women who've been forced to leave the labor force since February of 2020. And the American Rescue Plan, it's only a temporary lifeline for 861,000 people who filed for new state unemployment claims last week. Now, don't get me wrong, there are many aspects of the American Rescue Plan that I think are important, and I know that this $1.9 trillion is definitely, and it's been proven, it's definitely going to positively impact our economy. But aren't you tired of these short-term solutions? What's needed is a long-term plan. The long-term solution is that each worker needs to make a commitment to retrain or retool so they have a chance to have a job that has a future. Some workers have seen the writing on the wall, and they are doing that now. The Pew Research Center says many unemployed adults are feeling discouraged about their future job prospects. 2/3 say that since losing their jobs, they've seriously considered changing their occupation or field of work. 1/3 of those unemployed adults, 1/3 say they've already taken steps to retool their skills by pursuing job retraining programs or educational opportunities. These workers know the solution is to acquire new marketable skills. This goal, it's especially important for every single person over 50 because data shows their jobs are the most vulnerable during difficult economic times. Listen to this statistic. During the first 6 months of the pandemic, people 55 and older were 17% more likely to lose their jobs than somebody younger. If you're over 50, you really don't have a choice but to acquire a new skill. Now, maybe you think you're okay because you have a job, but here too the odds are against you. Data shows 56% of workers over 50 have faced some form of employer-driven job loss before they're ready to retire. And this, according to Forbes.com, this leads to prolonged unemployment or reduction in earnings of up to 50% or more for at least 2 years. If you're over 50, unless you commit to retraining or retooling, you could end up being one of those workers who are sentenced to a never-ending cycle of filing and refiling for state unemployment benefits. That's if you have a job. But let me make one thing perfectly clear. I'm not naive to believe that having a highly marketable skill is a panacea, not in an age of ageism, but I'm practical enough to know this. If you get a high-income skill, it at least gives you a fighting chance. That's all I've got for you today, folks. For those of you who watch this video through the end, I want to thank you, and I hope that you'll ponder on some of the information that I provided. And by the way, I will put links to every single article that I used as a reference when I produced this video. Those links will be in the description box for you to check out on your own if you get a chance. But one thing I want to say before I forget, and I always seem to say this at the very end, is please, if you got any value in this video, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. There is also a little bell. You're not only going to hit that little red button that says subscribe, but there's also a little bell. Only if you hit that little bell will you get our updates. At least as far as I know, YouTube won't notify you of a new video unless you hit that little bell. So please go ahead and do that. Well, as Bugs Bunny used to say, that's all, folks.